Another thing I would like to talk about that is in line with our emotions is acting choices. I'm sure many of us must have heard about that and we are familiar with acting choices, but let me just touch a bit because it's also very important. As an actor, you need to know what it entails or what acting choices mean, and they are related to several things that I've mentioned before now. Now, you can use your acting choices to make your acting more realistic and more believable. What are choices in the first place? Now, as actors, we don't decide what we say, do we? The script already tells us what to say. Every character in that play, the script had already, outlined what each and every one of us will be saying. So you don't come and say, oh, I don't want this line, remove it. This is what I want to say. No, the script will tell you that. Now, since we don't have the right to say what we want to say, acting is much more than a memorizing or a memorization context. Oh, let me just memorize my lines. I'm supposed to be on set next week and I don't have my lines. Hey, let me memorize my lines so that once I get on set, I have my lines. It's beyond just having your lines. In fact, sometimes when you have your body language right, you make the right choices, it even helps cover for some of the lines that you don't have. So, some people think that if they can just memorize their lines and recite it, then they are now an actor. Because you can memorize your line and recite it, you are now an actor. Excuse me, there's still more work to be done. In fact, if there are 100 steps of becoming an actor, memorizing lines is not number one. It's not. Now, well, that is not the case. In fact, learning your lines is not even the first step. Yeah, I've mentioned that. If learning our lines isn't our job as an actor, then what is our job? I'm sure you may want to ask me that question. Because I might tell you that learning our lines should not be the number one thing. Then what exactly is our job as actors? I've mentioned that before, but let me say it. Our job is to take this write-up from the page, from the dead piece, from the script, and give life to it, give meaning to it. That is our job. And to make it come alive like a human being. In the script, Jacob is a plumber. I want to act as Jacob. So I should be able to pick up that script and give life to what has been written on paper, on script, and make people see Jacob the plumber. That is our main job. Giving life to the lines. Giving meaning to the lines. Giving life to the lines of the character. That is our job. And that is exactly what we do with our acting. That is exactly what we do with our acting choices. Our acting choices are the decisions we make as what to bring into the character that wasn't given to us in the script. Let me say it again. Our acting choices are the decisions we make as what to bring into the character that wasn't given to us in the script. Remember, our script will tell us, oh, Jacob is a tall man, short, maybe tall, short, a brief description. But the script will not tell you each and every action that you will be doing from beginning to the end. The script will not tell you that. So it is your acting choices that will help you make the right choice that will help the character to come alive. I hope I'm making sense. Now, our acting choices is our interpretation of the character because the script doesn't paint the complete picture of a person. Now, each time you call me on set to come on set and you give me a role to play, by the time you send the script and you tell me this is the role you are playing, for me it doesn't stop there. I'll go and study the script and come back to you and ask you questions. What do you have in mind when you are writing this character? How do you want this character to be portrayed? Who is this? I ask questions about that I know will help me make the right choices. I ask questions. I don't just collect script and go to sleep. Now, a script only gives us the line and a short description of the character. I've mentioned that. It is therefore our job as actors to fill the gaps with our choices to bring the character to life. Now, let's try this example. Now, here is the script. I want to just use a line from a script. And this is the description and the line. The description says that Opadele is angry. And the line is, get the hell out of my office. Script, description, character description. Opadele, no, not character description, mood description. Opadele is angry. And the line is going to say is that, get the hell out of my office. Now, if I ask you to do that, what will you do? The common thing you will see from everyone that wants to play that role is to come and shout, get the hell out of my office. I'm not saying it is bad, but if you try a random sampling now, virtually everybody will come and yell and scream that line. True or false? I'm sure when I say that should be the first thing that will come to your own mind, to also yell that line, to scream that line. And you know, you are not wrong. You are not wrong. Now, there is no universal angry behavior. There is no universal angry behavior. So if you yell and say the line, but that is the obvious. That is what everybody will do. So let's make another choice, acting choice. That is different from what every other person will do. That is different from the obvious. And what will that be? Now, even you, each time that, let's assume you are angry today and you react in a certain way. In 2 weeks' time, if you get angry again, are you still going to react the same way you reacted today? No. The same you, the same individual. But each time you get annoyed, your reactions differs. That's why I say there's no universal way of, anger. Now, look at this. This is where our choices, comes in. So let's look at the line again. Opadele is angry and he says, get the hell out of my office. Most inexperienced actors will just jump at it and say it, it's just a single line. It's very easy now. She just get the hell out of my office. So someone will come and say, hey, get the hell out of my office. Good. Yes, they made a choice to yell. That's just an obvious, choice. Now, let me say this. I'm not saying an obvious choice is not good, though. I've said that before. Now, let's try and look at it this way. Think about this. How do other people behave in real life when they are angry? It does say in the script that Opadele is angry, but it doesn't say how Opadele is showing his anger. The script did not say, this is the reason why Opadele is angry. So we don't always show our anger by yelling, do we? I'm sure, have been quiet when you are, there are times you have been quiet when you are angry. Even if you haven't, I'm sure you must have seen people that are quiet when they are angry. So let's bring such thoughts into this process, into our work as an actor. So instead of yelling, try saying it with a quiet intensity. I can just do this and get the hell out of my office. Excuse me, who will you be scared, or which one will scare you more? Get the hell out of my office and get the hell out of my office. Two different lines, two different emotions. The same thing, but choices differs. Are we together? Now, that is another way of saying this. Now, let's also look at this. So this is our homework as actors, to see and try to explore other ways. Now, have you ever seen someone get so mad and so angry that they just started laughing because of the ridiculousness? Now, the same line. Look at this. I can just come and do this. Get the hell out of my office. That is another one. Without yelling. That is another choice. So let's take one more. Okay, these two choices are from the script, but there's no relationship with the entire script. Now imagine when we now have the entire script and we're now saying the reason why Opadele is angry. And maybe one of Opadele's best friends, Opadele confided in one of his friends that he's bidding for a contract, and the contract, he told him the whole process that he's about getting the contract. And this his friend went from behind, based on the information Opadele gave to him, secured the contract, and he got it. Now he's feeling guilty and he comes back to Opadele to report himself, asking for forgiveness. I actually did this. Now we are now having a full understanding why Opadele is angry. There's now a relationship. Now there's a relationship, yes, why Opadele is angry. Now his friend is feeling guilty, he has come to confess. At this point, Opadele feels super betrayed right now, and he's telling, because his best friend is just telling him what he did. Now he wants to tell him to get out of his office. We have seen a relationship with the circumstance that tells Opadele why he's angry and why he's saying his lines. So that will show a more different behavior than anything else we've done already. Are you following? Now, let's demonstrate this. Let's see how it's going to look. Now, Opadele can do this after the friend is narrating. Shake his head, take a deep breath, walk to the door of the office, open it, and tell the friend, get the hell out of my office. That's another way. See, what I'm saying in essence is, let's try and process our imagination from the beginning, and see how we can make the right choices to help us portray whatever lines that we are saying. Acting choices. Very important. Very important. Now, we can have other approaches to this line. No problem. It is very good. Okay, let's see if we have time so that we take how we can boost confidence on screen. How we can boost confidence. We still have types of acting. I'm sure maybe tomorrow we'll talk on that. But let's see how we can boost, confidence on screen. Because sometimes you think actors are Superman or Superman as if nerves at times, Or let's see tips for aspiring actors. Okay, let's just see how we can boost confidence on screen. Then we'll look at tips for aspiring actors. Let's look at how we can boost. Yes, here we have it. Building confidence on screen. Building confidence on screen. One thing all of us actors have in common is that there are times we battle with nerves, insecurity, and self-confidence. So it is possible to become a more confident. Is it possible to become a more confident actor? Yes. But it's important to note that there will always be time when you feel nervous, self-conscious, or straight up terrified. There are times that happens. Now, though some fears remain throughout your career, but you can do a great job, a great work to deal or to abate many of the common fears that actors face. So, number one, experience. Experience or practice. Now, like any other thing, the more you do it, the more confident you become. The more experienced you become. Once you become experienced over a thing, you become a master in it. And that takes away fear and build up your confidence. No wonder you see footballers every time rehearsing. You see athletes every time rehearsing. Why? Because they want to be the best they can be. So why? Look at this. You have a fracture. And then on getting to the hospital, the person who helped you open the gate, the security man at the gate, after he help you wheel your patient to the inside the hospital, and you ask him where is the doctor, I say, oh, I'm the doctor now, and in fact I can do this. But you're the security man. I'm actually a security personnel, but I can actually help you with your fracture. Will you allow him work on you? Or maybe there is a surgery and it's the gate man that is coming to perform surgery. Will you allow him? The answer is no. Since you will not allow such. So, but if the person have undergone training, the person is, well experienced, and of course, even when we go to hospital, we always look for the experienced doctors. So, by the time you keep practice makes perfect. One of my brother was telling me this evening that those days he used to have a standing mirror in his room that he practiced a lot. It's something that can also help. Just keep practicing. It helps build experience, and they say experience, I said it, is the best teacher. So what you have experience on, you become a master in it. So the second one is learn to take risk, both on and off the screen. Take more risk. If you are part of an acting class, be the first to jump up. Oh, who can do this? Or who? Jump up. Volunteer yourself. That's another thing that helps. When volunteers are needed for a project, volunteer yourself for free. That's where you are also gaining experience. That's where you are learning. In fact, each time I go on set, aside acting, I always love helping out with, we want to move gadgets, I move with them. I make myself available for other things. I've been to a set that they are saying, somebody come and say, do you know you're an actor? I'm not supposed to be doing all of this. But because I want to learn in other departments, I will go lock myself there, join them, and do whatever they are doing. Volunteers are needed for a project. Be the first to volunteer. This incremental risk builds towards colossal confidence. And each time we push past a barrier of fear, we get a little more confident the next time. Each time fear comes up and you're able to push through that fear, it helps build your confidence. Now, take stock. Another thing that can help build your confidence is take stock. Take note of every success stories in your acting life. When you get a positive feedback, write it down. It is all too easy to forget positive feedbacks and then you just hold on to the negative ones. No. By writing it down, we can build from it. Take stock. Take stock. It will help you. Then read and watch. Read and watch. The more you read and watch, the more you can have an opinion and feel confident offering ideas and making offers in the rehearsal room. You can make suggestions while rehearsal is going on because you have understudied maybe a character, you are well read in some of those things, and then when you want to do that, please use your sense in making suggestions. Just go quietly to the director or whoever is in charge. I have a suggestion. Can we try this and this way? There was a time I was on a set. I was in a rich man's house to come and, make some shakara, make some boasts. And this man was in the comfort of his house, taking wine. And I was to come sit down, he would walk me out of his house, and we did the first take. So I went to the director and said, sir, is it possible that by the time my character stand up to leave, I just go to the glass cup of the wine this man is taking, and I take a sip, drop it out. And the man said, brilliant idea, let's try it. Nobody knew I walked up to him to go and tell him. And I didn't go and loud the sound trumpet that, oh, this thing you are watching, do you know I was the one that actually, no, we don't need that. So, then meditation, wow. Meditation reminds us that there is a simple truth that, underpins everything we do. That no matter how stressful or how fearful a situation might be, we can always come back to a place of calm. Each time I'm coming on set, before it's my time, I will just sit and remain calm. Whether it is stage production, I always want to sit and now meditate. I try to see myself acting that role. I try to see the kind of choices I will make that will help me portray this message well. Meditation, it helps bring calmness. And by the time you hear action, you just flow easily. There's sometimes when you discover that the nerves is biting too much. Oh, do breathing exercise, right? Even when I said, take a deep breath and do four counts. In, out. In, take a deep breath, and to help you relieve some of these nerves. Then healthy habits. Making sure you are eating and staying active are two things that immediately bring about positive change in your life. And when you are happy in your personal life, that transfers into your acting work. Make sure you are taking steps to be more healthy or to be a more healthy person. It will inevitably help your confidence. When you eat healthy, when you stay healthy. I think at the beginning of this year, we were sharing with my brother and he was like, God is going to do great things this year. But we need to stay healthy. We need to stay alive to be part of it. If God is beginning to do great things and then we are not healthy, we can't enjoy it. If God is beginning to do great things and we are no more, we cannot be a part of it. But if we try all we can to stay healthy, to stay alive, of course we'll be a part of whatever God is doing. You are coming on set and you are healthy. Oh, it speaks volume. It helps you put. But when you are coming online and then you remember that there's one thing, there's something bothering you, it will not help you concentrate. In fact, you will lose touch of whatever you are doing, and it will show in your acting process. So those are some of the things I just put together that I think will help us boost our confidence on screen. There are more, but this will help. Finally, for this session, let's look at tips I want to give aspiring actors some tips that I think will be helpful. So one, don't be scared to look silly. Just have fun. You are coming on set. Don't be scared to look silly, to make mistakes. Be brave. Acting is all about taking risk. Letting your guard down and doing things you wouldn't normally do. Maybe you don't normally take which food is common that I can just mention now. Maybe you don't eat egg. And the script says this person will eat egg, and I say, I can't eat this egg. Go. Look silly, take the egg. There was a time I was to go on set and I need to go on punk. I was like, hey, how about punk? Oh yeah, now let me even see how punk will look on me. And I love it, I was looking younger. So look silly. Just help to bring life to that character and let the message go. There are no rights or wrongs with acting. No. It's not like a math class that when 2 + 2 you say 5, that's always wrong. So you might be throwing an imaginary object 1 minute and performing a dramatic scene the next minute. So be open to whatever is thrown at you. In the event, it doesn't make you compromise. Just make sure that whatever you are doing doesn't make you compromise your faith. Doesn't make you sin against God. Now, people watch. The second thing, tips that I'm giving, people watch. Observe the people around you and look at how they behave. See, there are materials for us everywhere, scattered all around, that we can draw from, that we can learn from. Great places to do this are the motor park, mechanic garage, marketplaces. Go there, where people are gathered, sit down there and just observe. Actors often say that they think something their character does in a scene is too extreme. Or real people don't talk like that. This thing, director, this thing, real people don't behave like this. Real people don't talk like this. By the time you visit all of these places and you are taking, you are getting materials, you now know that by the time you step out there to observe, you soon start to realize that saying that truth is stranger than fiction is really true. Truth is stranger than fiction is true. Then, learn your lines. It can be a boring task, but you need to learn your lines. Back to front, inside out, if you want to do a good performance. Yes, learn your lines. Once you have learned your lines, you can relax and enjoy the scene you are in and the character you are playing. There are also lots of fun exercises to make learning lines a bit easier. Maybe if there is time, I will share with you some of the tricks, some of the things I do that helps me learn my lines easy or faster. Yes. Now the fourth tips I will be giving out is that find out as much as you can about your character. Don't just collect script and go and learn lines. Find out as many things you can from the writer, from the director, then on your own. Go out there, research. What are the things I get to know about this character? Now, there was a time I was, when we did Land of Fury, and I was given, initially I was not to play the role of General. My role was Mario. But Peter Kolo was to play General. And along the line, that an accident happened while we were traveling. We were both coming back from Ile-Ife. An accident occurred. And that was when you see Mario using that sling. It was not just a prop that we thought of. No, it was from the accident that happened. And when the accident happened, there was a switch. We were asked to switch role. So I was now to play General. He was to now play Mario. And I've learned every line of Mario. He has learned General. Now I'm coming back to relearn General. And we're always rehearsing together. So, a friend saw me one day and was telling me, he says, "Sir, there is a movie I would love you to watch. Have you seen so movie?" He kept talking about that movie. So one day I went to town and I was now passing by. I said, let me even branch their studio and say hi. So I went in and I told him, "See, I have just 5 minutes to say hello." He said, "Sir, hey, that movie I was telling you of." He now started playing the movie. That is how I sat down for 5 minutes. I sat down for over an hour and I finished the movie. Why? Because I am seeing a character that looks like, in fact, 100% General. So I sat down and I watched every bit of that movie. I went back home, I collected that, copied it, and I was studying that character. And then, what was the character? The character of Idris Elba in Beast of No Nation. And then I will go back to Nigerian news, the way Shekau used to talk whenever he's on screen and is, giving out his threats to the Nigerian government. I was gathering all those materials to help my character. So find out as much as you can about your character. Go through your script and write every fact that is written about them. Then let your imagination run wild. Where do they live? What is their job? How do they laugh? What is their favorite food? Start to build up an image of their world. Your character is a real person with a whole life. So put yourself in that character. That was the character I said that I played. Some people were telling our producers of Land of Fury that you went and got a real terrorist to come and act in your film. I'm not a terrorist. It's just that I immerse myself in that character. Then another tip is that acting is reacting. I think I mentioned that before. This is a phrase you must have heard several times, but it's just one of, if not the most important thing when starting out in acting. When you are performing a scene, you should never switch off. You should always be present and listening to your fellow actors when you are not talking. It is a team sport. Don't say, no, you have to do it together. Then the 6th point here is go and watch as much theater, TV and films as you can. Find performances you love and what makes them brilliant. You can see that acting is not just sitting there and memorizing lines. It goes beyond that. Start an acting journal. Journaling on its own is a great exercise all around. Logging your acting journey with specific character or play from the start to the end will allow you to track your progress and growth. Now, it has also been known to improve anxiety and confidence. Then finally, just second to last, research. When we talk about types of acting tomorrow, I think you will hear more about this. Mesnia to Stanislavski and the rest. There are so many theater practitioners out there with many different approaches. They have many different approaches to acting. Some like to analyze exactly what a character's intentions are behind every word. Others throw themselves, quite literally into the role and go about their everyday lives exactly as the character would. Then join an acting class. Join an acting class. If there's no acting class around you, when you see opportunities like this kind of seminar, join. I'm sure when it's time for announcement, you also hear other, trainings, other acting schools that have programs that you can also tap from, that you can learn from. Nobody's see, we don't know it all. I'm still learning. So join an acting class, very important, because there will be new techniques, new things coming up that you also need to update yourself and keep yourself abreast with. So joining acting classes, and you can also connect from acting classes. Connection, you can connect with producers, your teachers can know one producer they can link you up with, and from there, who knows. So acting classes are important. So on this note, we've come to the conclusion of today's session, and I'm sure if you go back to your notes at the beginning when you're writing why you want to become an actor and the goal of you wanting to become an actor, review it again. I'm sure certain things must have changed. And finally, let me leave us with this assignment that I want you to submit. So I'm sure many of us have a smartphone. If you have a smartphone or a camera, let's try this. You pick the movie Breath of Life. Then your favorite scene, it shouldn't be more than maximum a minute, or let's say 2 minutes. It shouldn't be more than 2 minutes. Pick your favorite scene and use acting choices. How will you have done it differently? 3 different types, 3 different takes using acting choices, and get it submitted. Let's see what choice you will make that is different from what we've seen on the screen. And I'm sure we'll see brilliant works coming out. So thank you for your time. I hope I've not bored you. Thank you, and I pray you also learned something today. And let's continue this tomorrow. See you in class tomorrow. Thank you for your time. God bless you. God bless you.